Welcome to the Augmentation of Man with Kent and Renee Miller, where we are bringing the future. Today, we have an urgent message.
I heard through meditation that a very large event will happen before this Christmas. A credence is coming, absolute annihilation, certain lands of the world. Osculation means a small opening is happening.
I had asked if this was a natural or a man-made event.
This is all what we consider natural. It's not man-made. It will come on its own weight, a circumstantial alternative.
Meaning that it's an alternative path that has a desired, it's dependent on the circumstances of today regarding humanity and where we're at today. So, where is this event arising out of?
It's coming from the cosmos, the universe, outside of Earth.
And they called it a magnificent approach. So, it is approaching our solar system. There is a small opening that is occurring, and it's bringing what they called a cauldron of understanding, like a kind of a vessel of understanding to humanity.
So the creator, God of the universe, is directing this, is guiding this whole thing. A redundance of ancient understanding is coming into play here.
So this is understanding of our ancient selves that's really at the core of this.
Yeah. A Prolongarian umbrella to shade this gathering that's coming.
And the way that I take this is a prolonged umbrella shading, like hiding the development of this event in the cosmos. So it's not going to be seen right away, but it's coming.
Yeah. So a shaking will occur, a comprehensive shaking,
Within humanity.
opening of angulation of entrance, diametrical inversion.
So this is coming in at an angle, and diametrical inversion is diametrical can be opposite sides, but oftentimes the way our guides use it is like from one side to the other, encompassing all parameters. And so does that mean it's going to have a complete flipping of our world today? Is it going to have a and later in the message we'll see that it is going to redirect humanity's path. So it may have something to do with that, or it may be this energy that's coming in that they're talking about.
You asked another question.
So the question was, is the cosmic energy coming in now going to result in large earthquakes? Because they talked about annihilation of specific areas on Earth.
Well, earthquakes are unconducive. Earthquakes are unconducive. A paragram of zero tolerance.
Paragram means around. Gram is like the wording of zero tolerance. And then they described ungal antecedent will whisper the time of resistance. Ungal is a root word meaning hoof, and antecedent is a preceding event. So The
It's like
way
putting your
that,
hoof down,
yeah, the
standing
way that
firm.
I see it is kind of like a horse or a cow or bull will stomp their hoof when they are angry and when they are resisting. And so, are they telling us that the sign to watch for is when humanity is at zero tolerance? We're stomping our feet in anger, and this is the time that whispers the time of
Yes.
resistance within humanity.
So, question.
The question is, this cosmic energy related to what we call three-eye atlas?
A paradigm of enigma, fabrication of knowledge, a resistance to truth. Parameters have been set.
So this is a paradigm of an enigma. It's unexplainable. Um, we have in our society just the fabrication of knowledge, a resistance to truth, and that there's certain parameters that are set within the universe that relate to universal laws and the laws of nature.
The laws of the Creator, God.
Right, established from the beginning. And humanity is not following
No,
those laws of nature or the laws of the
yeah,
universe.
remember the parameters, you can't change it. But all the parameters have been set for what's coming.
And so there's no turning back.
No,
Because we've trapped ourselves in a corner, we've had the freedom to change things ourselves, but we haven't. And so now we're here at the end of a cycle, the beginning of a new and higher cycle of learning. And we have to have an external stimulus that will radically change the path that we're on now. And so I had asked, what can you tell us about these parameters?
Octarian collapse. Renote. Let's renote the true laws, universal in nature. The true laws are universal in all of nature.
Established by God that determine how everything works in the universe.
That's right.
And so octarian is the ability of one to see all from all 8 angles. And so this is like a 360-degree view of whatever you're looking at. And they're saying that the octarian collapse is that we are not living in a world, for the most part, where we are trying to seek the truth by looking at everything
That's right.
from these 8 angles to see the entirety of the picture. And that they are going to renote, bring in, reintroduce the true laws, which are universal in nature. That also realign us back to this octarian view of looking at everything from these 8 angles to have complete
The
understanding.
problem is most of the inhabitants of this planet will not go along with this.
Mhm. So we almost have to be forcibly pushed in another direction.
Those that won't go. Those that are waiting, that know what's going on, what's happening, are waiting patiently, but with trepidation.
And so the next question was, how will the destruction to Earth that caused by this cosmic energy look like?
So it's very specific. It's specific on the placement. And it's done that for a reason, to awaken others around the world.
and possibly in those locations to really awaken those
Well,
people in those
if they're,
locations.
yeah, they're survivors of the location, yes, but they're trying to get the rest of the world to awaken.
And so the creator is guiding this. The creator is going to direct this energy to specific locations that will help to awaken humanity, but it will also have an impact on the land and cause great destruction in certain areas of the world.
Yeah. So
So I asked this cosmic energy that's going to result in awakening of other humans.
correct, it will try to awaken other humans. So analogous movement. Seek the truth of natural law.
So through this event, it's going to cause people to wonder what just happened because it's coming in from the cosmos. This is not something that humanity has ever laid witness to before. This is something completely new, and it will spur within that desire within humanity to find out what the truth is and to seek the truth of natural law. Why did this event happen? What caused it? And it is supposed to reignite within the human race this desire to know the truth, seek out the truth, and rediscover these natural laws all
So
over again.
they told me to edit your cosmology, the way we've been thinking in the past. It's a self-correcting field. Okay. A believership. That's believership in the outcome. Open your hearts to believing what the Creator, God, and the glory of all that is.
So, edit your cosmology. What we believe in how the cosmos works is going to be challenged. And we are being told that we will have to edit our belief system about how the cosmos works, that it is going to provide a self-correcting field. What we observe is going to challenge our belief system, and we're going to have to edit our theories and our understanding of the cosmos. And they're telling us to come to believe in the outcome of this, of witnessing this event.
So, with that,
Is this cosmic energy going to result in destruction of the land?
they've already said yes,
Yeah.
that will.
And so I was looking for confirmation
Yeah.
of that again because I wasn't sure how these two things were related. And so they said specific locations.
Locations, very specific. A glorious event will take place. That's interesting talk.
So
Be prepared.
yes. So our guides, our spiritual guides, will take Greek and Latin root words and combine them. They may not be in our dictionary, but they definitely carry an understanding. So for means before, and lore means the study of a particular event. So a forlorious event to take place. So we're these specific locations that will be annihilated is the event that is going to take place that is eventually going to lead us to the study of it and an understanding. And so they're telling us to be prepared, it's coming. The next question I had was, does this include being prepared for self-sustaining?
The self-sustained in the Lord your God, your Creator. The crustacean of time will develop as needed. Overwhelming cause for events will take place here on earth as it's set forth.
So they're telling us that this is not about self-sustaining as far as food and self-reliance, but it is about turning to God and to be self-sustaining in having God in our hearts and on our minds, and that we need to return to God, the Creator, not the other teachers of this world, not the spiritual teachers that we have caused to be shelved to a higher level equal to that of God, but that God, the creator of all things, must return to our being and our focus in this life.
Yeah.
The crustacean of time, oftentimes they talk about crustacean being like the hard shell. The hard shell of time will develop as needed.
Yeah, so
I'm not sure what they mean by that. Sometimes these events have to play out before you understand the true meaning
that's
of the
true.
message.
Events have to play out. So perpetration of the atmospheric conditions, penetration of cause, a neurometrical event.
Neurometrical.
Yeah, a neurometrical event.
Mhm.
Consequence to the being of the human species. Adverse effect is in order.
And so they're saying that these atmospheric conditions coming in from the cosmos are being perpetrated, and that there is a reason behind it. It is a neurometrical event, meaning that metrical is like a measurement, a measurable neurological event that is consequential to the human race that is going to occur. So is that it's just going to have a measurable effect on our nervous systems,
Or
and it's going to have an adverse effect or a harmful effect, at least in the short term, in order to reverse the path that humanity is on. It's not about punishment. This is about redirecting our path.
and all this directed by the Creator, God, but it will take its toll.
So I asked, will this tear up the land? Again, I want confirmation that I'm understanding these events are correlated.
So
Will there
yeah,
be deaths from it?
so it will produce a heaviness throughout the world,
Mhm.
very heavy, as he rises up.
So as
Yeah.
this heaviness, it weighs heavy within the human race, then we start to return to God.
Yeah. How does this relate to new understanding? It's consequential in our behavior.
And so it has a consequence. All these events that are upon us have a consequence of changing our behavior, turning our path around to the right direction. And then I asked, when can we expect this event to
And
happen?
it's by what we know as Christmas.
I do
What-
want to say, though,
What we know as
right,
Christmas.
that, our perception of time here on Earth is different than the universal perception of time. And oftentimes we're given that an event will happen and it ends up playing out later than what we expected. The other thing is that sometimes they'll give us a month that it'll happen, and we're expecting it to happen this year when it could be next year, or it could be, a couple of years down the road. If we're not given a
Okay.
year,
Yeah.
usually we are not given dates. And they've told us that these dates are subject to change, because it all depends on how the energies are flowing and how they come to intercept in order to create the event. So it really depends on a lot of factors. And
But we don't know what those factors are.
yeah,
The
and
creator
so
does.
we're quite skeptical of dates because we realize that they are subject to change.
Well, subject to change as we know it,
Yes,
but they're not,
as
as
the
the creators
universe.
of God, they're not subject to change. There's a plan
Yes.
that
And certain
the
things they can alter the timeline with
yes,
too.
alter the timeline, but not the event.
Mhm. So the next question was this cosmic energy that is coming in that is going to cause an awakening. What are they awakening to?
The true self, the very true self, why we're here.
Yeah, but the true self is at the soul level, who we
Understanding.
are at the soul level, why we're here. And so it's to take us away from our distractions that don't serve us on this path in this lifetime and why we're here, and redirects us, but also so that we can reconnect with our soul purpose. So then I asked, what should we be doing at this
And
time?
I got more than once, and they said prayer, prayer as to understanding, because prayer also leads to communication.
Mhm.
And we tend to communicate in one way. Through prayer, we ask for certain things,
Mhm.
but we don't listen. And they said, in that order, prayer, communication, and listen.
Mhm. So
Listen for your answer.
we often will talk about doing a meditation. One, because Kent has an aversion to the word channel, although that is exactly what he's doing. It's just received a bad
Connotation.
connotation because there's a lot of people out there who channel who maybe not that correct, maybe adding their own interpretations to it, influenced by their biases or by,
Or
um,
their ideologies.
yeah, it all influences how you receive this information. And so when we are being awakened to our true self, the true self, the soul, is a flash drive of all those previous lessons that we've gathered over eons of time. All these multiples of lifetimes and all the experiences and learning that we have experienced between lifetimes. It saves all that on a flash drive. When we are awakened to our true self, we can connect with our true self and the higher self, and then be fed some of this information back to us in this physical lifetime, which is just the smallest expression of who we are when compared to who we are at the soul level. It's much bigger. From there, we open up a communication with our higher self, and that is our direct connection to God, the Creator. Now, we also have the God seed within our DNA. So when we open up and awaken to our true self, we can open that communication between this physical self and the higher self. But then from there, we can open communication up with other higher intellectual
Yeah.
beings.
You have to remember what is the result of proper communication. It's higher understanding.
Mhm.
But with communication, you have to listen. You cannot assume or you cannot prevail your own thoughts or ideologies. It will take a period of time to receive communication back to when you're listening. And you have to ask for understanding. So when you communicate from the higher self to the entities of a higher being, realize that that has to come down and be processed by your higher self so you can understand what they're talking about. Remember, we are basically kindergartners in this learning field.
They've told us that humanity is rudimentary thought.
At this
So,
point in time.
yeah, and that with all these changes, our thought process is going to increase by fourfold. So we're going to move out of this rudimentary period into a higher level of understanding.
So we try to post on the site here the original communication and what we feel it probably or might at least mean to our understanding. But the original communication is there. So
that you can decipher it for
That's
yourself
right.
and make a decision as to what it means for you. I also want to say that you will not find the answers to who you are as a soul outside of yourself. You're not going to find it by listening to someone else. You're not going to find it in a church. You are going to only find this by going within. And we have been trained to not listen to the voice within. So start paying attention to the chatter that comes forth, that sometimes we're thinking, and in the background, there's other words and communication that is coming through our mind that we are not generating in our own thought.
But you have to practice, you have to know discernment.
And
you
be able
have
to
to
listen.
know discernment.
And when that communication starts to come in, you may have a sentence that comes in, but part of that sentence you may not catch. Resist the temptation to fill in the blanks.
Yes, that's really important.
That's very important because we can start to receive communication, but then when you're filling in the blanks, you may change it and make that communication invalid because it is not what was intended to be communicated to you.
So come with us on this journey.
Pray.
Because time is getting extremely short.
Yeah.
And I have to reiterate that. It's becoming very short.
Pray.
So
return your thoughts to God. Open up communication with your higher self.
And listen.
Listen. And from there, once you establish communication with your higher self, then you can start to receive communication from higher beings that will shed further understanding upon, whatever it is in your life that you're trying to understand. That communication happens between the higher beings and your higher self. And then from there, your higher self will process it to make it something that we in our physical expression at this rudimentary thought can understand.
So with that said,
thank you for joining us, and peace be with you on your journey to enlightenment. Have a great weekend.